Hey, welcome to Life with Colonel Lee. I'm Colonel Lee. Today we are taking a look at whatever the heck this thing is. So this thing is actually pretty cool, what you can do with it. Stick around, we're going to show you what it is. Now how cool is that? So this Hammock, if I'm pronouncing that right, maybe Hammock, Hammock hitch system is pretty dang cool. And I like the versatility of being able to put it on my side-by-side as well as my truck. So I will show you here in a little bit how you attach it to your side-by-side, because your receiver hitch fits up and underneath versus being kind of flush with the outside of your truck. And then also, if you have a dually like mine, your receiver hitch is probably going to be 3-inch instead of a 2-inch. So you'll have to have your reducer sleeve. My truck came with it to be able to use this on your dually. So this is really cool, and to hang out in your hammock. And also you saw in the picture that you can rearrange these pipes and hang chairs. I did not purchase the chairs yet. Still don't know if I'm going to. I may at some point. But mainly I wanted to hang out in the hammock. And so that being pretty cool in itself, being able to hang this hammock on this receiver hitch setup. It's cool to hang out, you know, relax, whatever. But what if you want to actually camp overnight in something like this? Could you do that? In a regular hammock, you probably could if you're not going to have any bad weather. You're not going to be able to utilize your tarp for your hammock like you normally do. This will support a 10-foot hammock, and anything shorter than that, of course, you would just have to use your straps. But a 10-foot hammock will clip to each of these eyelets at the very end, and it will hang really nice. Now I do have a lot of 11-foot hammocks with the integrated bug net on it, and I strung that up on here, and it does work. It's a little bit slack, more than I'd like, but it does work nonetheless. But you can't really attach a tarp on here because the tarp is usually longer. So I was thinking, how could I camp in this overnight and be protected from dew, you know, any kind of moisture that may fall during the night? And I got to thinking, I have a shelter that would work perfect if it will fit. I hope it fits. This would be so cool if this shelter fits on this system. Man, that's going to be some awesome camping opportunities, different kind of camping opportunities with the truck and the side-by-side. Well, there is a viable camping shelter that we can actually use with the Hammock. I don't know what the name, how you pronounce it. But anyway, hammock receiver hitch system. This shelter actually works very, very well with this system. How cool is that? I mean, we can actually really camp overnight and be protected from all the elements, because if you're not familiar with the Haven XL or the Haven tree tents, they have the tarp basically integrated in with the sleep system. So it just connects to the carabiner, that the carabiner connects to this part and connects to your tree straps. So you don't have to worry about trying to string up an extra tarp over a regular hammock. This is already built on there. Now you have a ridge line coming through here. Typically you want that to be pretty tight. So is this system perfect? Not exactly perfect, but man, it's pretty dang close. I mean, typically we would want just a little bit more tension. But I mean, it's not bad at all. Let's get in and check it out. I probably sank down quite a bit because the side-by-side, not as stiff a suspension as your truck is going to be. But yeah, now we're able to use our Haven XL with no trees. And I mean, this can be used as a ground tent, but if you still want to hang, but there's no trees around, and if you're not going too far from your truck or your side-by-side, man, this is a great option. And I'm going to show you how this hammock receiver hitch, how you put it together, and how I travel with it so I don't have to build it every time I want to use it. Okay, so we've taken the Haven XL off of this receiver hitch. So I want you to notice that it does have some give and some play in it. So what I do when I'm going to be set up somewhere to camp, I'm going to determine which end is going to be my head end, and I want that one to be a little bit higher. Now in a regular gathered in hammock, you want to reverse that. You want your head to be a little bit lower so that you're not always fighting to stay in the right position in your hammock. But with the Haven XL, you're kind of doing a lay flat, but I like my head up a little bit higher so I don't feel like I'm sleeping downhill. So what I'll do is I just have one of these ratchet straps. I'm just going to hook it to one end here, and then I'm going to go up to here. This is pretty strong, sturdy. So I'm not going to get that super tight. I'm just going to get it to where it's in this position, and then when I get in, it's not going back the other way very much. So you can just kind of pull on it and see how much tension you need to add to it. So that looks good right there. So now then, with that strap on there, that keeps it from rocking around as much, and then it kind of pulls one end up higher than the other end. You know, depending on if you're on level ground, you might be able to situate yourself on a rock, that rear tire, you know, whichever side you want your head end up. But if you do this, it also keeps it from rocking around as much. All right, so with this system, it came with all the hardware. It came with this little metal wrench. So I'm going to take these two sections here off. And it's pretty easy. It's just one bolt, a washer, a lock washer, and a nut. Well, I keep dropping stuff. And then this pole just slips off like that. So I just put that in there, and we're going to do the same thing with the other side here. So if you're traveling with this hammock hitch system and you don't want to have to build the whole thing entirely, you could strip it down to just this. Take the two end pieces off and put those in the bed of your truck, in the bed of your side-by-side, and then you're just left with this. So if you let those two ends on, it's just too wide. I mean, it's roughly, you know, 8 to 10 feet. and that's just too wide to be traveling with. So you just take those two end pieces off. Now you're narrower than your vehicle. And with this system here, because I had to put a extension on this side by side and kind of like a riser, it's a double receiver hitch, but I get a lot of play on this. So we just use a strap again. So we just use a strap, and now it's not going to be bouncing around all over the place, clanking, making noise, or that kind of thing. So that seems to work pretty good. Okay, so for your side-by-side, I am using this adapter hitch. So it makes it two, so you can have your trailer and then have like a bike carrier up above where your trailer slips in. So what this allowed me to do was get this piece out from under the bed of the side-by-side. So that worked out perfect to allow me to use that for the side-by-side. So like I said, that is a 2-inch receiver setup for the hammock hitch. So for my dually, I have a 3-inch collar, and my truck came with a 2-inch reducer. So I do have to use that, and then my hammock hitch will slide into there. Okay, so this hammock hitch, it comes in 3 sections. So the first section is the part that slides into your receiver hitch. That is going to be this piece here, and you have these 2 pipes that are welded already, and it goes right here. That is one piece. Here is your second piece. These 2 poles, and they have 4 bolts, and they just slip right over. Now then, if you want this in chair mode, you're going to reconfigure reconfigure these pipes. So this pipe will swing over, they swing back around this way, and they'll stand up higher for your chairs. So this is just another fun way to utilize your hammocks or your Haven XL if you're fortunate enough to have one of those. It does work pretty good with this hammock hitch setup, the Haven XL, and I will be using it, so that will be pretty cool. I'm going to use it on the side-by-side and on the truck. So man, how cool is that? The hammock receiver hitch, or the hammock, I think it's hammock. Hammocky. You get the gist. Anyway, if you're interested in this hammock receiver hitch setup, I'm going to leave a link in the description box below. I'm not affiliated with them in any way at all. They didn't send it to me. I just went ahead and bought it for myself, and just because I thought it was really cool, and it seems really stout, sturdy, and I think I'm going to get a lot of good use out of it. As far as the Haven XL, I'm going to leave an affiliate link down below, because I am in affiliation with them. It doesn't cost you any extra to use that link and purchase your Haven XL if you so choose to, but I get a little kickback from it, and it works good for everybody. Thanks for watching.